Welcome to the Eat Better, Move Better, Live Better podcast presented by Flourish with Tracy, where we'll dive into the realms of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, yoga, and self-care to help you live your best life. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our special segments. Meditation Monday, start your week with mindfulness. Wellness Wednesdays, get the midweek boost you need. Sadhana Saturdays, dedicate weekends to personal growth. Join us as we explore and discuss all things to eat better, move better, and live better. Welcome. Today, we're going to talk about tinctures, a positive plant medicine, a traditional, intentional method of extracting and preserving supportive properties of plants so that they can be used safely, consistently, and responsibly. And when we hear the phrase plant medicine, especially in a liquid or concentrated form, it sometimes carries confusion or negative association or connotation, often shaped by fear, misuse, or modern misunderstandings. This is not about using substances for intoxication, escape, or loss of control. This conversation is about using plant-based medicine in the form of a tincture to support the nervous system, digestion, immunity, and overall resilience in a grounded and functional way. Tinctures represent plant medicine in its most practical form, concentrated, measured, rooted in respect, not for recreation, and not for any altering of consciousness. So let's discuss how tinctures work, why they've endured, and how to approach them responsibly so that this plant medicine is understood not through fear or extremes, but through knowledge and respect. Tinctures are one of the oldest and most efficient ways that we can work with plants for healing, balance, and resilience. Tinctures are powerful tools that require knowledge, discernment, and respect. It's not medical advice, and this information is for educational purposes. Tinctures are not a modern wellness trend. They are a cross-cultural ancient technology that has been with us all along. In ancient Egypt, written records on papyrus describe liquid herbal preparations preserved in alcohol and wine. These extracts were used both medicinally and ritually. In Ayurveda, tincture preparations called asayas or arishtas were created through fermentation. And these liquid medications were used for longevity, digestibility, and the ability to deliver herbs deeply into the tissues. In traditional Chinese medicine, herbs were steeped in rice wine to enhance circulation, warm the body, increase potency. And the solvent wasn't chosen randomly. Alcohol was used because it preserved the plant, extracted the active constituents of the plant, and prevented spoilage. In Greek and Roman medicine, Hippocrates, who is often called the father of medicine, used wine-based herbal extracts regularly. And these practices systemized herbal extraction in ways that influenced medicine for centuries. During the Middle Ages, monks became the keepers of the herbal knowledge. Monasteries functioned as early pharmacies. And in early American Western cultures, apothecaries relied heavily on tinctures, and early doctors prescribed them regularly. Tinctures fell out of mainstream modern-day medicine with the rise of synthetic drugs. However, they've never disappeared. Many indigenous traditions, herbalists, and healers still rely and use Tinctures as preventive care, sustainable, accessible healing tools, and for whole plant medicine. So what exactly is a tincture? It is a concentrated liquid herbal extract made by soaking a plant material in a solvent that pulls out the plant's medicinal compounds. Most commonly, the solvent will be ethanol, which is alcohol, glycerin, which is alcohol-free, or vinegar. Many use alcohol because it extracts water-soluble compounds, fat-soluble compounds, resins and alkaloids, and volatile oils. Tinctures can be made from roots, leaves, bark, flower, seeds, and berries. Fresh or dried plant material may also be used depending on the herb. So why is it important to create a liquid solvent? Liquids allow for more rapid absorption, long shelf life, and a concentration of the plant in small doses. So why would you use a tincture? First and foremost, for potency and efficiency. Tinctures are powerful because they are concentrated. A single dropper may represent single grams of plant material or multiple cups of tea. This makes tinctures ideal if you don't want to consume large doses of the plant or if you have a sensitive digestive system. And it also may be if you have a situation that requires quick support. And these types of extractions, alkaloids, flavonoids, resins, and bitter compounds, are often not fully available in a capsule or a tea. The fast absorption happens when you take the drops of the tincture under the tongue or you dilute it in water. It will act quickly through your mucous membranes and it bypasses much of the digestion. And this is why tinctures are often used for acute stress, to support your sleep, to alleviate digestive discomfort, to support your immune system, and to help regulate emotions. Tinctures have a long shelf life and they are very stable because no refrigeration is required. A tincture based in alcohol can last 5 to 10 years. Tincture made with glycerin, 1 to 2 years, and tinctures made with vinegar, 6 to 12 months. So this makes tinctures historically perfect for travel, emergencies, and essential use during the season, such as winter medications for areas without constant access to plants. And tinctures allow for flexibility and customization. You can blend your herbs, you can adjust your doses gradually, and you can tailor based on your personal constitution, the season or cycle of your life. Tinctures meet the body where it is today, not in theory of where we think it should be. So there are common types of tinctures. There's nervous system support such as lemon balm, skullcap, milky oaks, or passion flowers. And these tinctures are used for anxiety, overstimulation or restlessness, or sleep transitions. There are tinctures to support adaptogens such as ashwagandha, rhodiola, holy basil or tulsi. And these are also used for stress resilience, energy balance, and long-term vitality. And then there are bitter tinctures that support digestion, such as dandelion root, ginger, fennel. And these also help support liver function and regulating appetite. And then there's tinctures for immune and respiratory system, such as echinacea, elderberry, thyme. And these typically are used seasonally for short-term or preventive measures, especially during the winter months. Tinctures should be stored in dark-colored bottles Many people overlook this when they make their tinctures, but it's very important, and it's parts of how you use tinctures correctly. Light degrades the potency of the medicine. Exposure to light will cause oxidation, breaks down the active compounds. You want to store your tincture in dark glass, amber or cobalt. These bottles filter UV and blue light. They slow the chemical degradation. They preserve the medicinal strength, while clear glass allows that faster breakdown and reduces the effectiveness with the shortened shelf life. Ancient healers often stored the extracts in dark pottery, stone vessels, or thick grass. Ancient healers observed that medicine stored away from light lasted longer and worked better. Traditional medicine noticed then what today's science later explains. It's important not to use plastic. Plastic leaches chemicals into the alcohol. It allows for oxygen transfer, and it will degrade faster over time. Glass protects both the medicine and the person taking it. So where do you get tinctures? You can go to an herbalist or a dispensary, and it's a best option when you get a tincture that is a custom formula made for you after you've had a consultation with an herbalist or Ayurvedic practitioner. It's important to have that professional guidance to make sure that the tincture that you have is just for you and your needs. And the source tends to be of a higher quality. You can also look into organic herbs that have plant names, origins on them in health food stores that lists the percentage of alcohol within the tinctures, that does not contain any artificial dyes or sweeteners. And you can look for some reputable brands and online or in stores, but look for transparency, third-party testing, ethical sourcing, clear dosage instructions, no endorsements. A tincture should tell you exactly what is inside. Nothing should be hidden. You can also make your own tincture. Making tinctures is simple. It just requires time and patience. You will need dried or fresh herbs, a dark glass jar and bottle, the lid, dark glass droppers, a label, and a pen. Be sure to research the recipe for your tincture, as the ratios between dried and fresh herbs, how many portions of alcohol or glycerin or vinegar you may need for dried versus fresh will vary. So after you've determined and understand ratios that you need, chop the herb finely. Place the herbs in a jar and completely cover with the alcohol, glycerin, or vinegar. Seal and label it. Include the herb name and date. Store in a cool, dark place. Shake it daily, and allow this to sit and steep for 4 to 6 weeks. Strain after it has steeped for this time. Straining removes the plant material and leaves you with the extract. Transfer this liquid extract to the glass bottle with the glass dropper. Label it clearly. Enjoy this process and take your time. This is slow medicine. This is made with patience. So after you've created your extract based on what tincture you've made, based on what dosage you may need and how many times per day you may need it. You can place it under the tongue, in warm water or tea, before meals if it's a bitter, or before bed if it's for the nervous system. Start slow, observe and journal, adjust slowly and gradually if needed. Also practice precaution and safety. If you are recovering from addiction or sensitive to alcohol or have certain medical conditions, do not use a alcohol tincture. Instead, use the teas or capsules or vinegar or glycerin. It is so important to research and have proper guidance with a herbalist, holistic health practitioner that specializes with herbs, or an Ayurvedic practitioner, because some herbs may interact with medications you may be taking, such as blood pressure medications, antidepressants, blood thinners, or hormonal therapies. Always research or consult a professional prior to taking a tinctures, especially if you're taking any other herbs, vitamins, or medication. It is so important. It's okay to do it if you know what you're doing, but if you are not sure, do not begin a tincture regimen on your own without the guidance of a professional. Some herbs also may not be safe if you are pregnant or lactating. And never assume that natural means safe. If you have any allergies or sensitivities, be mindful. Start with small doses. Watch for any reactions and immediately stop if you experience rash, dizziness, nausea, or headaches. And be ethical. Be considerate. Avoid endangered plants. Support sustainable growers. Harvest responsibly. And be considerate of the life cycle of the herbs itself, as some herbs are best used short term and others may be safe for long term. The cycle and break of a herb matters. Plant medicine works best when we listen and not push. Healing should never come at the cost of the earth. So I'd like to invite you to extend a moment of gratitude to acknowledge, honor, and respect the earth, the plants, the lineage of those who's preserved this knowledge, for our body's natural innate intelligence and wisdom, and for the ability to make and use this healing modality. Tinctures remind us that healing doesn't always come in large doses. Sometimes it comes drop by drop. Tinctures are not about trends, shortcuts, or extremes. They're about continuity. Tinctures exist because generations before us paid attention to how plants grow, how the body responds, and to how medicine could be preserved with care and attention. Throughout history, tinctures were never meant to overpower the body or replace its wisdom. Tinctures were designed to support, to stabilize, and to work in partnership with the body's natural rhythms. True plant medicine doesn't force change, it creates conditions for balance. So if you choose to work with tinctures, let it be from a place of respect rather than control, consistency rather than excess, curiosity rather than urgency. Use tinctures as allies, not solutions. Use them as part of a broader picture that includes nourishment, rest, movement, and awareness. And above all, remember that the most important relationship in any healing practice is the one you cultivate with your own body, by listening to its signals, understanding its boundaries, and embracing its innate intelligence. Plant medicine through tinctures, when approached with knowledge and respect, reminds us that healing is often subtle, patient, and deeply relational. May you move forward with greater discernment, confidence, and appreciation for the quiet power held within the drops of this ancient healing modality. Thank you for sharing time and space today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's insights help you on a personal journey towards a healthier, happier life. Don't forget to join every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for more self-care and holistic wellness tips. Before you go, make sure to comment, click the bell, like, and subscribe buttons for upcoming episode notifications. Be sure to always consult a medical professional before making any major changes regarding your health, diet, or routine. In the meanwhile, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take is one step closer to a better you. Until next time, keep flourishing, and as always, may all be well.